The people in your life are a mirror of who you're becoming. Welcome to One Verse at a Time, a show where we slow down and zoom in on one scripture or a group of related verses so we can better understand the meaning and context. Today we're looking at two impactful scriptures that most people read and don't think twice about. Proverbs 4:23 and Proverbs 13:20. As we grow into who God is shaping us to be, we have to go through pruning. Just like a tree, not every branch is meant to stay. And in the same way, not every person is meant to stay in your life forever. Some relationships are harmful. Some are just simply not aligned. And some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. The theme of today's episode is choose your circle wisely. Let's start with Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. As kids, it's easy to make friends. We're taught to be kind, open, and welcoming. But as we grow up, something shifts. We start to care more about fitting in. But fitting in isn't the Christian way. It's not what we're called to do. We all want love. We all want acceptance. But there's a godly way to find it, and there's a worldly way. For me, I was always shy. I still am. But because of that, it was harder for me to make friends. So when I finally did, I held on tightly, too tightly. I let people into my life who didn't belong there. I accepted things that I shouldn't have accepted. I did things that weren't truly me, all because I didn't want to be alone. I didn't have the wisdom back then to say, I'd rather be alone than be surrounded by the wrong people. But now I do. Because if you stay around certain people long enough, you start to become like them. You start to talk like them, think like them, and eventually, you don't even recognize yourself anymore. That's why this verse matters so much. Guard your heart, because who and what you allow in shapes who you become. And this doesn't just apply to people, it applies to what you consume as well. The content, the music, the voices you listen to daily. I heard this once and it stuck with me. You are what your algorithm feeds you. Before, I consumed things that led me to act in ways that weren't truly me. Now, I'm intentional because I want my life to reflect God, not the world. Now let's move over to Proverbs 13:20. Become wise by walking with the wise. Hang out with fools and watch your life fall to pieces. You've probably heard this before, but you become like the people you spend the most time with. That's why you see groups of people who all act the same, talk the same, and live the same way. Because most people are afraid to stand out. They'd rather blend in than risk rejection. And I completely understand that. I've experienced rejection and abandonment. That's why I can see it so clearly now. I've had relationships that have pulled me closer to God. And I've also had relationships that led me to places I never should have been. There was even a time in my life where I found myself running from the police. And I look back now and think, that's not even who I am. But when you surround yourself with the wrong people, you can end up in places you never intended to go. If you walk with fools, you'll be seen as one. But here's the truth. Being alone for a season isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's necessary. God often uses isolation to grow us up. Look at David and Joseph. God does some of his deepest work in the quiet seasons because he's preparing you. He's refining you and strengthening you. So don't be afraid to prune your life, even if it's painful, even if it feels lonely, because pruning is what allows growth. And God knows your heart. He knows your desire for connection. He's the one who placed it there. So seek him first, trust him, and watch what he does in your life. That's all I have for you today. Let's continue to grow spiritually together, one verse at a time. And I'll see you in the next video.